friendship that'll never ever end.
Run!
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Reaction video 422. Day in the neighborhood. My brothers and sisters. Another Wednesday, another time to go back to one of our main homeboys. Mike from that chapter. That chapter Wednesdays, y'all. And the title of this video is The Evil Teens That Started a Kill List. Brianna Ghey. Now, the main thing that I'm wondering from the title, you know what I'm saying? The main thing I'm intrigued to find out is who exactly is on this kill list. Like, is it family members, or is it friends, or strangers, associates, or is it all of them all combined into one? Everybody on the damn kill list. You know what I'm saying, man? That's the main thing I'm getting when I just first read the title, y'all. But I don't know. But we finna see. But before we see, my brothers and sisters, y'all know what y'all got to do. Get whatever you may need. Get what you need, please. Another That Chapter Wednesday. Y'all got what y'all need? Y'all ready to go? Then let's fucking go.
Hey you, and welcome. My name is Mike, and in this solo video, the day, it was a Saturday. And during that afternoon, two teens were waiting at a bus stop in a town in northwest England. No one walking by would have suspected a single thing. This is a quiet town, nice place to live. These teens were waiting for someone who thought they were friends, and the three of them would walk together to a nearby park.
Uh-oh.
Only about an hour later, emergency services would be called in a panic. Little did anybody know that these two teens had a kill list, and they were only just getting started. This has been something they had worked on for months and months, becoming an all-consuming obsession. Please subscribe to see new videos every week. Now, let's give it a go.
Let's give it a go. And get whatever you may need. And I got another question now, y'all, along with the question of who on the kill list. I got the why question now. Like, why are y'all singling these people out, whoever they may be? You know what I'm saying? What do all of them have in common? Or do y'all just don't like them just because y'all don't like them? You know what I'm saying, man? Like, why did you decide to kill these these people on this list? I don't know. But let's find out.
The town of Birchwood, it lies in northwest England, right? And it's about halfway between the cities of Manchester and Liverpool. Not doing the accents this time. It's a pretty small old place, very suburban. Houses, shopping centres and some parks there. A very leafy community. A place known for its mist at night. Kinda spooky. Seems to have this whole kind of autumnal thing going on. By all accounts, it's a nice and friendly place. A lot of parks in the area, and that kind of comes up again and again. North of the town lies a park, Culcheth Linear Park. Linear because it's more like a trail than an open park. And it was on the afternoon of February 11th, 2023 that a 999 call was made from that park. Two people, Andrew and Catherine, they were a husband and wife. They were walking their two dogs along this trail when they came across, in the middle of the woods, near a bench and some stairs, a teenager lying on the ground, just lying there beside the stairs. They called emergency services at 3:13 p.m. saying, "I'm in Culcheth Linear Park. Somebody has been attacked. We have seen some of the attackers run away from the body. She's very hurt. She's halfway down some stairs. She's bleeding heavily. There's blood on her legs and on her back. She's really hurt. We thought it was a dummy at first. I don't want to touch her either. I don't know if she's alive. She did twitch before. It's an absolute mess. Catherine, who was the one who made this call, she described the two people she thought could have possibly done this. They were both wearing dark clothing with their hoods up. It seemed to be a boy and a girl. And as they were walking over there, they had seen them up ahead in the trail. She would say that she thought the boy was leaning down as if he was putting a leash on a dog, and then when they got closer, he was actually leaning over the body, and they'd seen him walking away. She would describe him not as sprinting away across the fields, but lolloping away, which is weird as all shit.
Yeah.
It would soon be determined that the girl on the ground was 16-year-old Brianna Ghey. Brianna was born in November 2006, the daughter of Esther and Peter. Brianna attended Birchwood Community High School and was known as a very kind person. One thing she loved was TikTok. She had over 30,000 followers on the site and loved making her little videos.
These are like the only heels I have, and they're too big for me. And like, I wore them to a wedding and then I threw up everywhere. Like, they're very, very big. Like, I don't know how to show how tall they are.
Brianna was...
I just gotta say real quick, y'all, man. Rest in peace, first and foremost, to Brianna Ghey. But I'm sorry, y'all. Like, I don't know, man. I just be feeling bad when I pronounce these people's name wrong. You know what I'm saying? At the beginning of the video, when I read the title, I said Brianna Ghey. But that's just the way I can't read, y'all. I can't read, man. And that's just the way I pronounced it, man. But I just want to get her name correct and just say rest in peace to her before we even get farther into the story, because stuff like that just bothers me. But let's go.
Transgender, and she was fearless about it. That's a word that keeps coming up again and again when you read about Brianna Ghey, that she was fearless, very, very brave, but not in that, kind of condescending, oh my god, you're so brave, like that kind of way, just very confident in who she was and who she wanted to be. She lived with her mom, Esther, her older sister, Alicia, and stepdad. Her parents, Esther and Peter, had separated, and growing up, Brianna didn't have a huge amount of contact with her dad, but recently, they had reconnected. Brianna was a very funny, outgoing young woman, really gregarious, larger than life, always ready with the zingers. But then, behind the scenes, the Brianna she didn't show off, she had mental health issues, self-harm, eating disorders, anxiety issues. What made it hard for her to leave the house a lot of the time, other than school, that was it. Brianna's anxiety meant that in school, she would spend a lot of time in the inclusion unit, which essentially inclusion units in schools, it's for students who maybe need a little bit of like extra help, maybe a little bit more vulnerable, that kind of thing. Students who need a little bit of extra time who maybe aren't kind of right for bulk classroom learning, and Brianna's anxiety included her in the inclusive unit. Brianna was there, and in November 2022, a new girl joined the class. That was 15-year-old Scarlett Jenkinson. She had previously gone to school in the next town over, Colchester, but she had transferred because she was kicked out of her own school. She'd actually been kicked out of a couple of schools. The reason she'd most recently been kicked out was that in September 2022, she had brought some weed gummies into the school, and they were like not a fan of that. A thorough background check on Scarlett was done by the school. She was described as a quiet and anxious girl, fairly normal, daughter of a tradesman father, and home ec teacher mother. No red flags. That's because the red flags, which kind of probably should have been raised, weren't raised at Birchwood High School, which would probably have led to them turning her down. The school would have to accept her if she was kicked out of the previous one and was being transferred. See, Scarlett had previously poisoned a 13-year-old girl with said weed gummies. She'd given her a couple of these gummies, didn't tell her what they were. This young girl then had to be hospitalized. Charges were never pressed against Scarlett, though, in relation to this.
Oh, hell no. That ain't something that you suppress. This little girl, I don't even know if she should be able to transfer to another school after an incident like that. You literally poison someone at school, another student, another classmate. I don't feel like her going, like getting transferred to another school out of the damn state would be justifiable. Like, it's probably time to homeschool her or something. Like, that is a big red flag, my brothers and sisters, to let you know that something going on with her and we better stop it before it get worse. And apparently it's about to get a lot freaking worse. I hate when we see these warning signs, man. That is a big red flag.
School, Scarlett didn't have any close friends and told other students she was involved in Satanism and believed she was a witch. Allegedly, she had tried to recruit other students to take part in some good old blood rituals, which you gotta love. I think they, though, politely declined. Over time, she became friendly with Brianna, and it seemed like a normal relationship. They began to hang out more and more. However, texts would show that, in December and January 2022-2023, Scarlett became obsessed. Absolutely obsessed with Brianna. Like, not in a romantic way, just in a I can't stop thinking about this person kind of way. She would text a friend of hers, Eddie Ratcliffe, about just how obsessed she was with Brianna. Scarlett and Eddie had been friends in Colchester School. Eddie a loner, but both of them were always described as very, very smart. They had been friends for about 4 or 5 years by this point. Now, Scarlett herself, she had a fella. She did have a boyfriend, but the things she would share with Eddie were not the kind of things you would normally share with your boyfriend unless your boyfriend is an absolute psycho. I'm talking serial killer obsessions, torture obsessions, murder, blood, all that good stuff. Scarlett liked Eddie because he had an interest in the same murderous fantasies that she did. Eddie, he liked Scarlett because she could help him socially and introduce him to girls.
This is like a goddamn match made in hell. This is not a match made in heaven. This is a match made in hell. Both of them are into murdering and torturing people. What is the chances of 2 people meeting who into that shit? That is a match made in hell, my brothers and sisters. I just hate that Brianna gotta be the victim of this. But it say kill list though. Maybe Brianna just was the first one that was killed, and hopefully y'all was the only one. But they was thinking like, okay, after we get her, then we're gonna get more people. I hope that's the case at least. I mean, it's already sad that Brianna had to fall victim to this shit, but hopefully nobody else. I don't know, but freaking, this is a match made in hell, man. 2 fucking murderer wannabe people, ideal having people, and they falling in love. Wow.
Scarlett was mostly obsessed with the Night Stalker, Richard Ramirez, but she was also partial to Jeffrey Dahmer, how original, and Harold Shipman too. Her diary's pretty messed up. She had like a little facts sheet about each serial killer. Reports say that in late 2022 she also downloaded an Onion browser to, well, browse the dark web to find videos of people being tortured and killed. Though there's plenty of that on like the regular ass web, so you don't need an Onion browser to see that kind of content. But yeah, she was just obsessed with murder films, horror films, blood. One of her favorite movies was Sweeney Todd. She was like obsessed with like the knife he would use to, I don't know, I've never seen the movie, but chop people up or something. She would like mitch off school all the time and just stay at home watching really gory movies, and I guess just becoming, big fan. On February 11th, 2023, Brianna had been home alone. Her mother and sister were out. And she texted her mother telling her she was heading out and getting the bus to go meet her friend, Scarlett Jenkinson. Her mom, Esther, actually thought that was kind of strange. See, Brianna had never gotten the bus alone before. Her anxiety kind of prevented her from doing it, so I guess she was, oh cool, good for you. Also, the fact that she was going to meet Scarlett was also just a little bit, because Brianna's mother, Esther, had never met Scarlett. She had heard Brianna talk about Scarlett all the time, but she had never met her, and they hadn't even been friends that long. But Esther, it was a nice Saturday in February 2023. She didn't think too much of it. It was a beautiful sunny day. The bus journey took about 15 minutes to get to Colchester.
It's just so crazy watching Brianna like last moments, y'all. You know what I'm saying, man? This is right before she finna go meet the people who gonna freaking kill her. When you just really just think about shit like that, it is crazy, man. It make my eyes kind of want to water a little bit, man. Just how real it is once you really think about it. This her last freaking moments alive. Whew.
And there, Scarlett Jenkinson was waiting for Brianna. It was just going to be a cool-ass hangout. But there was someone else waiting for Brianna too. Someone Brianna did not know, had never met before. That was Eddie Ratcliffe. The three of them headed off together for a walk, heading to the Culcheth Linear Park, which is about a mile from the bus stop. As they were walking, they were seen by a few folk just seemed like regular teens, and they were, until they got to the park, a disused rail line. And then as soon as they were out of sight of other folk, that's when they struck. Less than an hour later, Brianna was found by a husband and wife walking their two dogs. She had been stabbed 28 times in the head, neck, and body. It was a horrific scene.
Damn.
When the investigation into this began, the police quickly, they almost immediately swooped in on Scarlett Jenkinson because Brianna Ghey had texted her mother saying, "Guess who I'm going to hang out with? Scarlett." Then, investigating Scarlett, they quickly determined her links to Eddie Ratcliffe, and were going to go for him too. In fact, both Scarlett and Eddie were arrested simultaneously at about 7 p.m. the day after the murder.
Scarlett, this is what I've got to say.
Yeah.
At this moment, because the information I have received, you are under arrest on suspicion of murder. Obviously you are under caution, so anything you say is getting recorded. Okay.
With me being suspect is because I was the last person seen her, or how come I'm suspect?
Pardon?
How come I'm a suspect?
How come you're a suspect?
Because I'm the last person that's seen her, is it?
I don't know. All the information I've received is you are a suspect, okay, for the murder.
Yeah. You Eddie?
Yeah.
Eddie, you're locked up suspicion of murder, alright? You don't have to say anything, but you may harm you eventually, don't mention when questioned. So you later line in court and if you do say we evidence. Do you understand?
Yeah, I'm going to just unlock these.
I can't explain it.
No, listen.
Right, listen.
Do it all on into, alright? You're going to take it to the wrong corner, you'll be interviewed about it, they'll ask you questions, alright?
While the pair were being questioned by police, their homes were being searched. Eddie Ratcliffe lived with his parents and siblings. As I said, always a loner, and he was diagnosed with autism, selective mutism, and a high level of social anxiety. He spoke when arrested, but as the judicial process continued, he spoke less and less, except with and through his mother. His family, again, seemed perfectly normal, perfectly, whatever. This is, one of those cases where you talk about killers as, nurture versus nature. And this is a very good example of they both came from extremely well-liked, normal-ass families who seemingly gave them everything they wanted growing up. And they still, turned out not great. Eddie's...
And that's why you can't judge a book by a cover, and you can't judge a book by where it came from. You know what I'm saying, man? Because they had good families, you know what I'm saying? And they still end up doing this shit. And I'm just getting a vibe like they just killed Brianna for no reason. I mean, I feel like murder anyway, for the most part, you know what I'm saying, is for no reason. You should never kill nobody unless it's self-defense or something like that. But I'm just saying, this just seemed random. They didn't have no hate. It was, what did Brianna do? Long story short, story long. Why did y'all single her out? It just seems so freaking random in this case, y'all. And it's just, man, this is just one of those sad ones that's what's making me sad the most. That point right there, that it just seemed like y'all just did this to fucking do it. Just because y'all into the damn Michael Myers and the Jasons and the Freddys and the Chuckies and the Leatherfaces and the Ghost Faces of the world. Y'all into the Jeffrey Dahmers and in the freaking, can't even think of his name right now. Oh, damn, what the dude name? The Drink the Kool-Aid man name. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. But just because y'all into the blood and the gore, that's why y'all killed her? Because y'all wanted to have y'all a victim in real life? Man, come on, man. We got, and like I be saying, my brothers and sisters, we got to do better as humans. This is ridiculous.
His dad, a fitness trainer, his mother an artist, and Eddie was the middle of 3 children. Top student, never in trouble, the family would go skiing, boating on the lakes, and he was planning on studying microbiology in university. it was in his house the police found a hunting knife and bloody clothing. CCTV showed Eddie leaving the scene on bus, wiping blood off his clothing. After the murder, they just both went home and chilled out, you know yourself. Then, of course, being completely shocked when the police showed up to Linear Park and word began to spread around town of what had happened there. Later that evening, Scarlett wrote on social media, "Brianna was one of the best people I had ever met and such an amazing friend. A very touching tribute to the girl she just brutally murdered." At the same time as she was posting that, she was texting Eddie asking him, "Oh, hey, you worried? You know, that we might get caught by the police?" And Eddie said, "We probably will be." And Scarlett just replied, "We'll be grand. Don't worry about it. The police around here are shite."
These two got to be two of the most dumb motherfuckers ever, too. They sitting up there texting each other, "Do you think we're gonna get caught for killing Brianna? I don't know, man. These police dumb." Like, y'all don't know that everything that you are texting right now, the damn police can actually get a hold of and see? Y'all don't understand that these freaking cell phone companies, I don't give a damn if you delete it in your phone. Once you goddamn text that shit and send it to somebody, it is in the clouds for freaking ever. These people dumb. I'm halfway, and y'all probably notice it, but I'm starting to get a little pissed off at these motherfuckers just because of the randomness of them doing this, even though it really wouldn't matter. But just the way that they doing this, and then they so fucking stupid. Let's go.
Scarlett had wanted to keep a part of Brianna's flesh as a token of the murder. In one text she sent to Eddie, she wrote, "Can I keep some things? A couple of teeth and an eye," and said she was excited by what she had done. She also revealed that she had previously tried to poison Brianna, but it hadn't worked. It just made Brianna violently ill. Brianna's mother, Esther, had come home one day and heard Brianna, puking her guts up in the bathroom. Brianna's mother, was actually worried that Brianna had tried to do this to herself. In fact, if the poisoning had worked, Brianna's mother thought that if it had worked, she might have just assumed she had done it to herself, because she had a history of self-harm. If that had worked, they could have gotten away with it. Scarlett and Eddie had lured Brianna to the park that day under the pretense of trying out a bit of the devil's dandruff. And as Brianna was sitting on the bench, she was attacked. Scarlett stabbed Brianna first, then she passed the knife to Eddie, who stabbed her 3 times. Scarlett then took the knife back and did the majority of the damage to her. The reason they killed Brianna is multifold. One of the reasons was that Brianna was transgender. Another was that she was kind of the one they had a kill list. They had a kill list of Brianna and then 5 boys on it, who they were planning on making their way through. It seems like Scarlett was the ringleader of this. A lot of people would say that Eddie was just manipulated. He was an easily manipulatable person, and that, she had this plan she wanted. Other classmates would say they were aware of this list and were telling their parents, "So hey, listen, you won't believe, she's got a kill list." Nobody took it seriously.
Oh hell! Now see, they should feel bad that they didn't take it seriously too. You know what I'm saying? That should weigh on their conscience a little bit. But I just want to speak on the fact that if they didn't get caught for killing Brianna, best believe those other 5 dudes on that kill list, they would have tried it. They would have tried to kill them too. That's just how crazy these motherfucker was, man. These were some crazy, careless, but for some reason, thought they would get away with it type of murderers. I don't know, man. Murderers are they weird to me. And a lot of other adjectives, but one of them is weird, man, just because of the way. I just feel like they don't value human life like they should. You know what I'm saying, man? Like, do you know what you doing, first of all? Then second of all, do you understand that it's going to take a lot to get away with this ish? Let's go.
They decided on Brianna because they thought she would be the easiest, with Eddie texting, "I want to see if it will scream like a man or a girl." Scarlett wanted to kill anyone. Eddie was more interested in killing Brianna specifically because she was trans. The police, when searching Scarlett's home, they found her diary and found pages detailing the plan to murder Brianna. Saturday, 11th February 2023. Victim, Brianna Ghey. Plan. Meet Eddie at Wooden Posts 1 p.m. Walk down to library, bus stop. Wait until Brianna gets off bus, then the three of us walk to Linear Park. Go to the pipe tunnel area. I say code word to Eddie. He stabs her in the back, and I stab her in the stomach. Eddie drags the body into the area. We both cover up the area with logs, etc. Both Eddie and Scarlett were charged with murder. Eddie would say, true.
Like, why would you even be writing this shit down in a journal, like, or diary, whatever you want to call it? Why would you, like, can we make some sense of this shit, my brothers and sisters? No, we cannot. These freaking murders out here, like I just said, man, they just freaking crazy and weird and just, it's almost like but in this particular case, it's almost like they wanted to get caught, man. Y'all wanted to get caught, bro. I'm glad you did. I'm damn sure glad you did, because they could have got away with it if you paid attention. Y'all go back a little earlier in the video when Mike was talking about where they had poison, where the girl Scarlett, I think, had poison Brianna, and she was throwing up real bad and she could have almost potentially died then. She probably would have got away with it then, but I'm glad your ass didn't. All you basically have told on yourself in so many different ways. Let's go.
His mother that he had been peeing in the woods when Scarlett started stabbing Brianna, and he took absolutely no part in it at all. The blood in his clothing was from him checking to see if Brianna was okay. Scarlett would, of course, say the same about Eddie, that she took no part in it at all. The old blame Marino game.
Now we got them both blaming each other, and they still so fucking stupid because it's text messages that y'all have sent that show that both of y'all was in compliance with this shit. Both of y'all was in on this shit. Like, Jesus Christ, how fucking dumb and just need to go to hell can you be?
Scarlett, in fact, had a cover story ready. After the murder, she messaged Brianna's phone a number of times, asking if she was okay, saying she'd heard about a stabbing in the park. When she was questioned by police after being arrested, she had this whole shtick invented and was ready to rock, hoping the police would gobble it down. She said that yes, they had met up, but then Brianna had left the park on her own to meet a random man from Manchester. The day after the murder, she texted Brianna, "Girl, is everything okay? Some teenage girl got killed in Linear Park. It's on the news everywhere. And why did you ditch us for some random man from Manchester? Like, what the F? That is so effed up." But the messages on their phones just revealed everything. They had been planning a murder for months, and as I said, had made a kill list. Brianna and 5 boys. 3 of the boys on that list were lads who had pissed off Scarlett's boyfriend. One of the guys was a rival for the affections of a girl that Eddie fancied, that he liked. And then the other guy, Scarlett just didn't like him. Thought he was a bit of a dick. They finally settled on Brianna. But one time Brianna had to cancel. Another time Eddie refused because it was a school night. Then they finally were able to lure her over.
2 16-year-olds, a boy and a girl, were charged with Brianna's murder after, as you say, she was found in a park not far from her home on a Saturday afternoon in February and died of stab wounds. Well, today those 2 16-year-olds appeared in court here, and one of those defendants entered a not guilty plea. Now,
but here's one thing, if you can believe it, that'll absolutely shock you. While in custody, Scarlett, she loves her little lists. She made a second kill list. A kill list of staff in this custody centre. Yet, she wanted to kill staff at the secure children's facility she was being kept at. The list.
Okay, it's official. Something wrong with this lady or this girl. Something seriously wrong with her. You get caught for murdering somebody, then and you had a kill list of other people you wanted to murder. You in the damn facility you at. And you coming up with another kill list. Like, something wrong. Let's go.
List was found by staff. During the trial, Eddie, selectively mute, was allowed to give evidence by typing his answers onto a computer, which would show up for the jury and be read out loud. During the trial, he did Sudoku puzzles and played with a fidget spinner. Some argue this was all an act, that he was playing it up for sympathy. Others say that he was traumatized by the murder he committed. At the end of the trials, Scarlett Jenkinson was sentenced to life with a minimum of 22 years. Eddie to life with a minimum of 20 years.
Scarlett and Eddie, for Brianna's murder, you are to be detained at His Majesty's pleasure. As you know, that is a life sentence. I must also set the minimum time before you can be considered for release. But how long you will actually serve will not be decided today. You will only be released if, in the future, it is decided that you no longer present a danger. I don't want to dwell on the murder itself, but it was brutal. The injuries inflicted with the knife Eddie had bought a few weeks earlier were awful. Your motivation, Scarlett, was to act out your fantasies. The messages show you wanted to make a real victim feel pain and fear. Your actions after the event and what you have told Dr. Church confirm you enjoyed the killing. Eddie, although your motives may not have been the same, you knew what Scarlett wanted to do and why. You understood her desire to see Brianna suffer. You actively participated in this brutal murder, knowing the sadistic motives behind it, and you cannot avoid the consequences just by saying you did not have the same desires. I find also that you, Eddie, were motivated in part by hostility towards Brianna because she was transgender.
Crazy, man.
The murder was motivated by an obsession Scarlett and Eddie had. It's always thought Scarlett was the ringleader. They were going to kill, eventually. But also, the fact that Brianna was transgender bumped her up to the top of the list. Brianna had her struggles, more than her fair share, but she always put on a brave face for the world, always showed her happy side, and no doubt would have gone on to become a pretty amazing person. Instead, two psychopaths with the absolute darkest possible obsession you can have, ended that, in the process ending themselves. Scarlett for sure doesn't seem like a person who anyone should have hope for. If she hadn't done what she did, she would have done something. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's another list in wherever she is now.
I know, right?
They both showed a complete lack of empathy. They knew exactly what they were doing and shared no remorse after the fact, demonstrating sheer arrogance. But thankfully, she may as well add herself onto that list because she won't be doing much now. She's already done enough. Thank you so much for watching. It really means a lot to me that you're here, as always. You know the drill. Please, check out the shirts. Shirts, last time of selling them, limited edition. The sale is ending like real soon because they're getting shipped this month, so please check it out. Also, check out the Patreon for early access to videos and a heap of exclusive videos. And check out the That Chapter podcast with a new episode out every Monday. But you know what? Until the next solo video, which should be out on, like, Friday, please take care of each other and yourselves. Because I love you. Mike out.
This one right here, y'all, is one of the classic cases of just dumbass murderers. Like, I can't get over how freaking dumb they were, man. And they thought in their mind that they was being smart. Like, they thought they was covering their tracks. Man, then they started blaming each other and saying, I ain't had nothing to do with it. She did it. He did it. And it's just, then the reason that they did it for, and I think the main reason that Mike was saying was because she was transgender. Really? It's 2024 and there's still people out here hating on people because they want to change their gender or be whoever they want to be, whatever. You know what I'm saying, man? And it's that much hate in the world to that make you want to kill them? Like, why do you even care like that, man? That ain't got nothing to do with you because this person wanted to be the gender of somebody else or whatever. I don't even want to talk too much about that because I don't like to get on those subjects, y'all. All I'm saying is that ain't have nothing to do with you. Why would you hate some? It's almost like that's just as bad as being a damn racist, man. You hating somebody because of the color of their skin. Like, some of the reason that people be hating people out here is just fucking ridiculous. It is just crazy, man. I don't know, my brothers and sisters. This one right here really, at the end of this video, more than anything, I am freaking frustrated. I'm frustrated on this one, y'all. That's how I can sum this one up. But it was a great video by Mike, as always. Y'all already know how you get down, man. I always feel like these people that we be watching, y'all, we be watching these videos, it's like they just get better and better to me. You know what I'm saying? It hasn't like just died down or got like mid, it's elf or nothing. It's like, no, they just keep rising. And I'm talking about all of them, man. I just continue to enjoy doing this with y'all more and more. I don't know. I don't freaking know, my brothers and sisters. But whatever the case may be, I'm happy to be on this journey with y'all. And I digress. Gonna let y'all go now, man. Just make sure y'all hit that like button, y'all comment, subscribe, do all that. And come on back tomorrow for another reaction beanie, yo. But until then, my friends, also, remember this. Love, peace, and happiness. Stay safe. Don't stop. Keep going. Yeah.